Hello and welcome to the SCI GUYS, the show where we talk about the crazy, weird and wonderful stories from the science world. I'm Corey, and as always I'm joined by my co-hosts Jamp and Luke Cutforth.
Bonjour.
Hola.
This week we'll be talking about a broken democracy and the end of the world as we know it.
Oh, you mean England?
I thought you were going to say America.
Well, both.
Both, yeah. This one actually does take place in the UK though.
Oh,
You were right.
Yay! I did it again.
In 2016, the people of the United Kingdom cast their votes in one of the most important referendums in British history.
Brexit.
Brexit!
The outcome of this poll shook the nation, and the discourse is still raging 3 years later. This, of
Because nothing's
course,
been done about it.
is the story of Boaty McBoatface.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
The true democracy.
Genuinely, I love the story of Boaty McBoatface.
Yes.
Do you guys know the story of Boaty McBoatface?
So they were having to
Vaguely.
name a new vessel in the Arctic,
Yes.
And they all took a vote about what the name should be, right?
and Boaty McBoatface was, I think it was suggested by a radio host.
Yeah, so in 2016, the Natural Environment Research Council were christening a new research vessel.
Boaty McBoatface.
That was going to go to...
Christening a new research vessel,
it was an
Boaty
yeah.
McBoatface.
It was an Arctic research vessel, and yeah, a radio host jokingly said, yeah, let's call it Boaty McBoatface, which is not the one that he voted for, by the way.
Oh.
He voted for something else.
And it did win. Boaty McBoatface won, but then this boring science research group went, no, we're going to call it the Sir David Attenborough. But they called the little one. They called the little rescue vessel,
So
or like the
it's an
deep sea
autonomous underwater vessel, yeah.
So that one's called Boaty McBoatface, but not as fun.
That's a cop
But it
out.
wasn't
Yeah.
just...
That's
you
a
say
cop-out.
that. It wasn't just that scientific group. There was massive discourse on this. People were arguing about it.
Oh, I remember.
In terms of the votes, Boaty McBoatface won. And
Absolute landslide.
no, an absolute landslide. So the RSS David Attenborough got 10,000 votes, give or take. It's Bloody Cold Here got another 10,000 votes. Henry Worsley got 15,000. And the second place, Poppy May, or Poppy Mai, which is the name of a girl that had a terminal illness, got 34,000. Whereas Boaty McBoatface had 124,109 votes.
So this is dreadful because they set up a vote, and then even something like Poppy's one that genuinely won and wasn't silly, they just ignored it.
I don't think Boaty McBoatface is silly.
So Sir David Attenborough became like 4th or 5th, didn't it?
5th.
Yeah.
Fifth, there we go.
And they went, let's call it that.
Oh,
well, rubbish.
we don't like first place.
Don't
Let's
ask
choose the
questions
5th
then.
one.
I mean, if you're overthrowing democracy, I think it doesn't really matter which
Well,
one you
there's
choose.
like you talk about
Absolute
how this was a
tyranny.
big deal and there was discourse. Like I don't really care. You held a vote. Respect the vote.
I've said it before and I'll say it again, democracy simply doesn't work.
Well, then don't have a vote. No one made you have a vote.
I love it.
God's sake.
Corey didn't throw the vote, to be fair.
Genuinely, there were people in the British government that were concerned about calling it Boaty McBoatface because of how it would look, because it was such a big research vessel. It was a massive undertaking. It cost about what?
Then don't trust the public to vote responsibly.
200 million pounds, I think,
Blimey.
or maybe about 200 million pounds it cost. So they didn't really want to just piss it away on Boaty McBoatface.
Did they do anything with Poppy, the terminal
It's still the
illness?
same boat, regardless of what it's
I don't
called.
think so. No.
And now she's just dead.
So yeah, as Lucas said, it was called the RSS or David Attenborough.
Sorry, I take issue with that. I didn't say it, I yelled it.
I apologise. As Luke yelled, it was called the RSS Sir David Attenborough, and the remotely controlled underwater vessel was called Boaty McBoatface.
Total cop out.
Which irritates me, because it's not a bloody boat.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
not.
submarine.
Yes.
Soey McSubface.
Does anyone go in the submarine?
Submarine face.
It's a remote controlled one.
Yeah.
And no one can go in it.
No one goes in it.
So it's just basically a torpedo.
It's about the size of a torpedo.
Yeah.
Well, I say that. I don't know how big torpedoes are. It looked about the size of what I'd
So it
expect
should
a
be
torpedo to
called
be.
torpedo.
Torpedo
face.
Oh, no!
God. Torpedo face.
So from now on, because I am a firm believer in democracy,
Yeah.
the RSS Sir David Attenborough,
Will be referred to as.
Boaty McBoatface.
Yes. And
Good.
Boaty McBoatface will be named Poppy.
No, Boaty McBoatface Jr. I have it written down.
Ah, okay. I didn't realise it was written down.
If you want to play that game,
rule.
they can both be named Boaty
If you want to play that game, I can write it down.
On what?
I don't have a pen. Oh.
There's
You ain't got a
plenty
pen,
right
mate.
there.
These are my pens.
I can write it on my hand.
So a few stats on Boaty McBoatface Jr.
So you mean the autonomous vessel?
The autonomous vessel. He can go to 6,000 meters deep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty deep.
It's deeper than
Deeper
James
than
can
James
go.
can go. He's about 3.62 meters long.
Longer than
Oh,
James.
That's longer than me, yeah.
And he weighs 700 kilograms.
I don't know what's funny. To say that's more than James or that's less than James.
Stop comparing me to a submarine.
It's not a submarine. It's an autonomous vessel.
Sorry.
Jampy McJampface. His mission range is 2,000 kilometers. I think that means he
What?
can just go
They can control it from 2,000 kilometers away.
Well, he can go 6... Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, I misread that. Yeah, he can go 2,000 kilometers away.
Is it a satellite that controls him then?
I have no idea how they do it. He said basically they control him from the boat. Whether that goes through a satellite or not, but I doubt it is because he goes very deep underwater.
Wow.
So, Boaty McBoatface and his son,
His tiny son.
his tiny little baby
Never
son,
talk to me or my son ever again.
their job is to research climate change. Not by themselves, they have people in them. Well, not
Not Boaty Jr.
not Boaty Jr. Big Boaty has people in him helping him do that. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about climate change.
Okay, go ahead.
It's real. If you don't think it's real, you're
That was a
dumb.
massive
What?
segue. What?
It's not a massive segue. This is what Boaty McBoatface does. He researches climate change.
Cool.
That's why we're talking about him today.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Pay
just a boat.
attention then, James.
Thought it was just a boat.
I'm so glad.
You
because
thought it was just a boat.
Yeah.
it's a polar research vessel. What do you think it's doing?
Could be researching
Researching penguins.
polar bears.
Polar bears. It's a polar bear research vessel.
No, that's a research vessel for polar bears. They're
What
in
polar
it,
bears
researching.
are researching.
Yeah.
Wait, so climate change is real, right? That's the first fact I've learned today.
Oh, look. Yeah, so basically I'm just going to tell you a little bit about climate change because this is for another episode. We're going to do a big episode on climate change at some point, but just a few stats.
When we started making episodes about fictional things, yeah.
Oh.
I don't think climate change is not real.
There's a greater than 95%
I'm gonna edit out
possibility that it's a result of human activity on the planet. So
Well,
if you want to hedge your bets on a less than 5%
Where did you get
chance,
that stat, though?
NASA.
Okay, but you don't know NASA's not lying to you.
Who?
They lied
Who's not
about
lying to- who's not
they
lying to
lied
you?
about the moon landings. Dab.
When did we invite Alex Jones on the podcast?
I just like annoying Corey.
You're just sitting here eating grapes, denying climate change.
No, it's not
weird.
real.
I've been eating grapes since last week. We're recording 2 episodes in
They're
one
the
day.
same grapes as well. Oh, they're so disgusting.
Oh, they're so moldy and awful now, Luke. Luke's been sat in my room since last week. Oh, he just won't
Eating
leave.
grapes.
No,
I have so many grapes. I've been eating them for a week.
So the planet's average surface temperature has risen by 0.9 degrees since the late 19th century.
That's not good.
It's bad.
It's quite bad.
These
Could
are just
be
lots
worse.
of terrible stats. This is what I said when I mean it's the end of the world as we know it. Climate
Yeah.
change is killing us.
Good.
It's not good. Do you guys know how you can
Well,
stop climate
Well, it's
change?
good if you want to die,
I mean,
which I think James does sometimes.
there are quicker ways to go about it.
No, I'm in it for the long game.
Is that why you're vegan? You want to stave it
Yeah.
off just a little
Yeah.
bit?
They've not finished the Avengers series yet, so James is sticking around.
They're never finishing that.
Yeah, so that James sticks around. That's why they're making it.
Yeah, so the 20 warmest years on record have been in the past 22 years.
Every year, all right, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but on the weather on the TV, every year they go, this is the hottest summer on record.
They say
Because
that
the
in, they say
planet's
that in
dying.
Harry Potter 3, I think, as well.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little weatherman who goes, "It is hot. Yes, hot, ladies and gentlemen." Something like that.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Cool.
I do. It's the very
I have
beginning.
A weird knowledge of the Harry Potter films,
Very
word
intricate
for
knowledge.
word.
It's weird that climate change exists in the Harry Potter universe as well. Physics can just fix it.
Wait, it's not climate change. It's the Wizarding War, of course. Damn it, Voldemort.
No,
Wish they'd hurry
that's
and wrap
because the
it up.
Dementors are making it cold. That's completely unrelated to the Wizarding War.
Maybe they're going extinct.
The Dementors.
Yeah. So there's
There's
nothing.
nowhere to go from that.
There's nothing cooling us down.
Ah, I see.
Oh, in our world.
So what we
yeah.
need to do is we need to breed more Dementors.
Just
Yeah.
get depressed.
Someone call NASA.
I wish we could genetically engineer some Dementors.
Do you know Dementors having sex? You know
Or
what that
just-
causes?
Dementors having sex. Mist.
Mist, yeah.
Mist, yeah.
When it's a
Oh.
misty place, that's Dementors going at it.
Breeding.
Oh, lovely.
Well, you don't know that they're going at it. They might have a different reproductive system.
They're going at
They
it.
might just like...
You've seen those
Well, if
mouths.
it's
You know
I
what
was
they
literally
do.
about to say they have the most disgusting mouths ever.
Maybe mist is like Dementor sperm.
Semen, yeah.
and it's just in the air. Like a seahorse, like just release its... Wait, no, is it seahorses that release their sperm into the water?
Most aquatic animals do that.
Just release it into the water.
Yeah. A lot of fish just...
That didn't need the noise.
Well, it did, because it's a podcast.
Oh, yeah, true. When Corey masturbates, like...
Let's it out
Just
into the
dust
world.
comes out. It's like pollen, like a dandelion blowing on that.
Stop it.
Do you guys know what the top 2 countries for destroying the planet are?
China?
Yeah.
India.
United Kingdom? No, I mean, sorry, United States?
Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, India's got a lot of people, but also...
That was my only logic. I was like, there's loads of people.
Yeah, no, the US is real bad. China and the US make up 40%
Crikey.
of the world's greenhouse gas emissions.
Crikey.
Yeah.
And they're only like the fifth of the population combined.
Yeah.
That's dreadful.
No, they're making up more than they should. In fact, there's all these rules on how much we're supposed to warm the planet. We've limited it to, I think, 2 degrees.
Isn't that the Paris Agreement, which
Yeah.
Trump's pulled out of?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have those rules.
Mm-mm. But we then limited
that.
it to 1.5 because 2 degrees is so much worse.
Yeah.
And no one's making that's the thing as well. No one's actually reaching these goals.
Well, Theresa May announced very recently that she set the target of us having 0 net carbon emissions by 2050.
Yeah, but she also said that she was going to deal with Brexit and then resigned.
All right, Corey.
Oh, look, I'm giving it 3 goes. I'm done.
Tried 3 times.
I tried 3 times.
3 times.
Do you guys know what the best way to stop climate change is? For us. Just in our daily lives.
Reduce carbon.
Well, yes.
In the atmosphere.
It's them plastic straws, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the plastic straws. Get rid of them.
Get rid of
In our
them.
everyday lives, it would be get rid of your car.
Well, that would help. Yeah.
Oh, cut out meat. Cut out
There
meat
we go.
and dairy.
Cut out meat and dairy.
Wow, plug the veganism.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
plug
actually is
veganism.
that.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
getting an
knew that was
electric car, though.
Meat and dairy is
I knew
more,
that was a big one.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't know it was
more
the
than
biggest.
the entire transportation system, including planes and trucks and boats and everything combined.
Because, to be fair, that is because when you take into account meat and dairy, you've also got to take into account the transport of it and raising them.
And the cow farts.
Yeah.
The cow farts are the worst. In fact, beef is... I've got a little graph here. Beef is worse than any other food by quite some
Yeah.
margin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in all fairness, although I am vegan and would love the opportunity to promote that, it is actually mostly beef and milk, I think, which is the
Oh,
worst.
yeah. The thing is, cutting it out entirely is, if you can do it, something you should consider. But if you don't want to do that, cut it out a couple days a week, and it will have a big impact. And also, you won't die in a
Just reducing your
fiery storm.
overall.
Just reduce your carbon footprint.
Basically, yeah.
Use less plastic.
Don't put your carbon foot on the floor.
And also, electric cars, don't get them. Don't buy an electric car. Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's a funny one, because it's like, although it's better once you've got the car, actually making the car
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
It's
Oh,
like
you're
it's like someone's
joking.
like, yeah. So someone's like, I'm getting rid of my SUV. I'm gonna get an electric car.
It is true, although there is a very good it's something I learned about recently. It's a very good reason why electric cars are better for the world in general, which is that right now the oil industry has a monopoly over our transport. And so it's very difficult. We're operating in a capitalist environment where there is no competition to the oil industry. And so when you diversify the source of power for your car, then all of those industries have to compete and prices lower. And also you get more efficiency. So right now there's no alternative to petrol if you want to drive a car. And so the oil industry has a monopoly over the world's transport. Whereas if everything becomes electric, then you can use gas, you can use wind, you can use solar, you can use anything, and it makes the world a much better place, even if it's not because of the carbon footprint reasons.
Why they can just raise and lower the prices whenever they want as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
It just fluctuates, not due to necessarily supply and demand, but
Sort of. I mean,
it does, but based on
there
other
are
factors
separate companies who are like, if one, there's a really good thing where if Saudi Arabia, for example, who has loads of cheap oil, decides they want to screw over American companies, they could just lower the price of oil so that all the American companies go bankrupt. That's one of the reasons why Saudi Arabia has such power over the West. It's because they've got all the oil. And so they can just destroy, if they wanted to, they could probably just destroy our economy by stopping giving us oil.
That's why Bush did 9/11.
No.
For the oil.
Well, I'm not going to say that's not true. I'm not going to make a comment. But I wouldn't say that Bush did 9/11 because the Saudi Arabians could change the price of oil.
Have you guys heard of Earth Overshoot Day?
No.
No.
Wait, is this the day when we made more green energy than we consumed energy?
Oh, I wish it was that.
It was a good day.
I really wish
Parties
it was that.
in the street.
It's the exact opposite of that. It's the day of the year when we use up more resources than the Earth can replenish.
Oh,
Lovely.
Yeah.
has it come yet?
Oh boy. Not yet. I mean, it gets earlier every year. I think last year it was September. When do you think it was this year?
April.
It was July.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't July. Not yet. It will be July.
July hasn't happened yet, has it?
It is so it's the 29th of July, and that's the point at which...
That's basically August. We're doing all right.
I mean... It should
There's
be.
a 1 month, more than a 1 month jump in a year.
Yeah, which is pretty messed up. We're kind of destroying our planet.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not, and you're not.
Well, I am a little bit.
Well,
you don't see me. I go out and do
bit.
bonfires every night.
I don't
farts
mean
a bit.
to. I'm not doing it deliberately, whereas there are people who are doing it deliberately, which is not very nice.
Yeah, that's mental to me. The people that are climate change deniers to the point of actively... Yeah. Back to Boaty McBoatface then, I suppose. So Boaty had a 3-day mission, and he travelled 112 miles through mountainous underwater valleys.
Good on
which
him.
Didn't know those existed. Underwater mountains? No?
If I'm imagining the
Not
right
doing
thing,
anything
yeah.
for you?
Mountain.
No, I
yeah.
just didn't know they existed.
There's mountains
But-
underwater. Yeah.
Yeah. So this little boat was travelling under there. He measured the temperature, salinity, and turbulence of the water at the bottom of the ocean down to 4,000 meters, which is pretty much his operating capacity.
Thought it was 6,000.
No, that's as far away as he can get, is it not?
No, you can get 20
Oh, you can get to
2,000
6,000
kilometers away.
Oh, I don't know the numbers, Luke. I'm sorry. It's 2,000 meters away from his operating capacity.
Yeah,
They should have got him lower.
he should have.
What Boaty found is not very good. It's not very heartening.
What
it's
did he
very worrying.
find?
He found that,
We're all dying slowly.
yes, there's a new thing that's happening in the water that we hadn't really accounted for. Essentially, there's increased turbulence at the bottom of the ocean caused by water being colder down there.
Convection currents.
Yep, which makes it mix with the hot water
Makes it spin around.
more,
Oh.
which heats up more of the water. Yeah, causing it to
Lovely.
heat the oceans and make sea levels rise. It's just really not good, to
So
be
the
honest.
ocean is slowly brewing.
Fish soup. Fish
We're
soup
going to be a
incoming.
giant cup of tea.
So there's a hole in the ozone layer above the Antarctic.
What? How did that get there?
Us.
Well, but what I mean by that is, like, usually you get a hole in the ozone layer above where there's a
Australia.
lot of, like, above Australia where there's a lot of, like, pollution.
Mhm.
But there's not a lot of stuff going on in the Antarctic. So why is there a hole in the ozone over there?
I think it's just the general
Or is
kind
it
of
there
depletion of the
always?
ozone layer due to human activity.
Ah.
Because it does affect us on a global scale. Yeah, you can have a hole in the ozone just above Australia because they're terrible people. But it can just affect globally. And obviously that's quite an environment that's not used to change. Just a
Yeah.
little tip and
Yes.
it can fall. So this hole in the ozone is causing increased winds, which cools down the water below it. Just really messing up the planet. And this is something that we didn't know before, so we now need to factor into our calculations.
Wait, why does winds cooling down the ocean, why is that a bad thing? Because I thought heating the ocean was the problem.
This is really difficult stuff.
Yeah.
In that it's not difficult, it just doesn't make sense in the way you think about it, because obviously we have a very simplified view of how that kind of weather and water interacts. Essentially, the hole in the ozone layer above the Antarctic cools the water that's deep down through the wind.
And that causes the convection
That
current,
causes
which
the
causes them to
mixing,
rub against each
which
other,
causes
which
it to-
generates heat, which then raises the overall temperature of the water, which
Yeah.
melts the ice caps and makes the water level rise.
Yeah, so if you mix the water more, then more of the water gets warmer.
Melted. Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's the mixing that's the issue. It's the turbulence.
Yeah.
And actually, fun fact, Boaty McBoatface was name dropped in the article about this.
About Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah, about Boaty McBoatface. I mean, I don't know if it's his official name, but the fact that Boaty McBoatface is in a published scientific article.
I don't think many people know him as Sir David Attenborough.
No,
Oh,
he's
no.
definitely Sir Boaty McBoat. Sir Boaty McBoatface.
Sir Boaty
Oh, this is sub Boaty McBoatface.
the sub.
Sub.
Not the sub, but the submarine Boaty McBoat. The autonomous underwater vessel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please refer to it as the autonomous underwater
No,
vessel.
he's referred to as Boaty McBoatface.
Okay, I thought he was junior though.
Oh, Boaty McBoatface Jr. is called
Okay.
Boaty McBoatface
There we
Jr.
go, better.
So in the future, Boaty is supposed to be attempting to do the first ever crossing of the Arctic Ocean under ice.
Cool. So he's going to go deep under where the ice is
Mhm.
and then travel underneath where the ice is, where
Yeah.
it's still water.
Which doesn't really sound like a research thing. It sounds more like someone swimming the English Channel.
It sounds like
To
what
me.
I do in a pool, where I try and hold my breath and get to the each end.
Luke has this thing in a pool where he thinks he'll just sink. But you do just sink.
I don't float, yeah.
Yeah, you weigh
I weigh
about the
too
same
little. Yeah.
You weigh about the same
I've always
as water.
sunk. It's always been weird. Everyone floats and I just sink to the bottom and just like lie on the
Drown.
floor. Yeah,
I've
it's
always
strange.
sunk. Oh, that's a shame. Why do you think that is?
I'm not heavy enough. I have no mass. And so I don't have enough upthrust. I'm not buoyant enough. So like normally people have like an amount of fat on their body, which means that their overall density is, whereas I'm just like scrawny bone thing. And so I sink.
You just sink.
Yeah.
Like a bag of lead.
Yes, just like a bag of lead. When you take your bag of lead down to the pool, me and it will
drop
sink to
my
the bottom.
bag of lead into the pool.
Just like Boaty McBoatface when he sinks to go under the Arctic ice.
Indeed.
And that's it for today. I hope
Is that it?
It's genuinely
Is that
it,
the
yeah.
whole thing?
That's the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he only came about 3 years ago, so he's not got much that
Yeah.
he's done. But in the future, they do want to use him to find out more about climate change and how it's affecting our world.
We should have an updated episode
We should.
when he completes his mission.
This is not the last we've heard of Boaty McBoatface.
Wait, I'm so confused as to which one we're talking about.
It doesn't really matter.
The autonomous underwater.
That's Boaty
Vessel.
McBoatface Jr.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
I'm going to be honest. I genuinely forgot that I'd said that.
Right.
That was just something
Pay
I...
attention, Corey, to
No.
yourself.
It was a joke that he then didn't follow on.
Yeah, you
Right.
you guys don't remember what I've said in any previous episode.
I honestly, I was riled up from the start of this episode when you talked about how David Attenborough came fifth. I was so mad. Well, I didn't know about that. I only thought he came second. I was so right.
No, David Attenborough was actually quite happy with the name.
You have reinforced my hatred of science.
I thought you were gonna say
Democracy
so,
you should
David
hate,
Attenborough.
Luke.
No, because it was democracy by scientists.
No, but it wasn't just that. It was also... Everyone else had a bit of a hand in it. There were meetings and committees.
At the end of the day, there will have been like one or a few people who had the power to make that decision, and they didn't make the right one.
Thanks for listening. You can find the full references for this episode in the description. Subscribe for new episodes every Monday, and why not leave us a nice wee review? Find and contact us at SciGuysPod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or send us an email at sciguyspod@gmail.com. You can follow me at Not Corey everywhere.
You can follow me at Lukeface. No, you can't. Luke Cutforth.
You can follow me at Jampkin.
Mick
Not
Jampface.
Jampface.
Jampface.